How's it going, guys? Brett Medlock here. Today I'm going to do a little off-the-cuff review. This isn't pre-written. This is just my genuine thoughts on the game without me writing anything down, just giving you my thoughts. So today I'm going to be talking about A Plague Tale: Innocence. This is a game that I've been looking forward to just because from the second I looked at it, I knew that's a Brett game. Third-person, story-driven, linear, those are the types of games that I love, and sadly there's not that many of them nowadays. Anyway, let's jump into this game. So immediately, as you'll notice, it is gorgeous, and I'm not sure how big the studio is, like how many people, but I get the feeling it's more of a Hellblade situation where the team's not that big, but they took their time and they really tried to give us something special without a huge budget like God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn. It seems like it's from a smaller team, and why is that? It's because a lot of the game isn't very mechanics driven. There's not a lot of fast-paced gameplay, and that's probably my only gripe with the game. So I'll just get the negative out of the way really quick. I really wish they would have included an ability to roll dodge, like similar to a lot of action games, because I think it would have worked really well in A Plague Tale, because there are segments where you're going against a guard and you have to sling these rocks at the guard and knock off his armor and like run around him, and she does this little sidestep, but it doesn't always respond immediately, which is kind of odd. And I feel like if they really would have honed in on the gameplay mechanics for these action moments, this game would have been something really special. But at the end of the day, it's not really an action game, but there are action segments. So that's all I really got to say in terms of my negatives. Now let's jump into the positives. As I already said before, this game is gorgeous, and I mean absolutely stunning. It's amazing how much they tried to put in the environments when you're only in these environments for like, let's say like 30 seconds. So there's not constant backtracking, there's nothing like that. And they put so much effort into like the storytelling, the environmental storytelling to be specific. And I was blown away. Like there are segments in the game that you just have to take in as much as you can, because after you leave, it's gone. You're not going back to it. This isn't like a lot of games nowadays where they're all like forced open world games with a lot of padding, a lot of backtracking. This is just a linear experience, which in my opinion, there's not enough of in the gaming landscape right now. There's too many open world games, not enough linear story focused games like this. And kudos to the developer for putting out something like this in the year 2019, because there honestly isn't that much of an audience for it seems like. But as I was saying before, the main gameplay mechanic is a sling, so you're constantly using it to like interact with the environments or take out enemies, and it's a lot of fun, really satisfying. It really reminded me of using Kratos' axe in God of War, just that sense of satisfaction, just the fact that she's winding up and then throwing it super hard, and just the way it smashes into things is really satisfying. So I really enjoyed using her sling, and there's other like stuff you get throughout the game that you can utilize to take out enemies and to mess with the environments. As I said, I'm not all the way through it yet, and it looks like there's still going to be some stuff included, but as of right now, I really like all the different elements that have been introduced so far. One thing you'll immediately recognize if you played games like The Last of Us, so there's basically a desk that you'll go to and you'll upgrade your sling to have different speeds, different strengths. You'll upgrade your character, and I really liked that feature because you're constantly progressing as a character, and not only do you, the player, feel more powerful, but you really get a sense that the character is growing in the story, that she's forced to grow because of this crazy situation that she's put in. I forgot to mention this at the beginning. I'm not going to dive into story stuff. I believe every game should be jumped in knowing as little as possible when it comes to story. So I think it's good. I think it's really good so far, but that's all I'm going to say. But anyway, as far as characters in the story, I think the two main characters are really great. The more you get to know the characters throughout the game, the more you like them. At first, I was like, I'm not sure about this. I don't know about this acting. But the more you play, you get used to it, and it ends up not being that bad. Now, one thing that this game immediately invoked was a sense of dread. This is a crazy post-apocalyptic rat-infested world, which, of course, I'll get into the rat stuff in a second, but the soundtrack, the settings, all just makes you feel gross, and I really loved that as I was playing it. It makes you feel uneasy, and I personally love whenever games make me feel anything, like whether it's disgusted, sad, angry, happy. As long as they can make you feel something, I think they're doing their job. So that's where A Plague Tale really does great. So as I was saying before, you're mostly sneaking around guards and rats, and there are other stuff implemented that I'm going to get to in a second, but this is the main crux of the game. If you don't like walking simulators or sneaking around in games, this is probably not the game for you, but I think it does step out of that genre quite a bit because of the sling, and there are some like action moments, like Uncharted like set pieces where you're running away, there's explosions, and I did not expect that at all in the game, which I'll just jump into that right now. Like there were some adrenaline pumping moments in this game that were actually like genuinely scary. and they had me on the edge of my seat, like really similar to an Uncharted game, which is also, once again, really impressive because this is a pretty meaty game. I think I'm about 4 or 5 hours in, and I think I'm only halfway. So you're definitely getting the bang for your buck with this, and if you like single-player linear games, you definitely want to support this game. Honestly, forget I said walking simulator earlier. Yes, you do a lot of walking, but in my opinion, it doesn't feel like it's within that genre. It feels like something different. But yeah, you'll constantly have to use the environments to distract guards, you'll be sneaking around a ton, and it's honestly just a really intense, fun experience. You feel vulnerable because you have a child with you, which a lot of times that can be annoying in games, but I feel like with a game like this and with The Last of Us, traveling across the world isn't that bad whenever you have nice storytelling and character growth. As long as the developers can make you feel for the characters, they don't feel like this annoying brat sidekick that's always messing things up. But yeah, I think the puzzles are done very well. They're not too hard, not too easy, and they make you think. And I just think everything the game attempts to do, it does right. So if you're in the market and you want to support a game like this, I say check it out. It's a lot of fun. A Plague Tale: Innocence on PlayStation 4, and I think it's on other platforms as well, but I'm playing it on PS4, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I can't wait to play through the rest of the game. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Sorry if you heard my kids in the background. They are awake and they are being loud, but the show has to go on. So thanks, and I will talk to you guys later.